Hi, my name is Brent Burton, the hippie golfer, and thanks for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to go over reading greens. Now, I promise I'll make these videos nice and quick. We'll get right to the point. I'm a former golf course superintendent and had the fortunate opportunity to play with a lot of former teaching pros and a few tour players. They did teach me some tricks, and I'm happy to share them with everybody now. The first thing you do when you come to a green, look for the drains. What I mean by that is it drains off of the approaches here. We got one down in the front over here, and we have one down over here on the right. They're out in the column. Then we have another one down on the slope over here on the left. What I want you to imagine is if you had a big bucket of water, and we were pouring the bucket of water on the green. Where's the water going to run off to? Over here, it's going to run off down to the one in front of the green. Over here on the right, we have the water's going to run off to the right over here. And on the left, it's going to drain off to the left over here. When you build greens, unfortunately and fortunately, I was part of building some greens, some courses, you realize that every green has a crown on it in some spot, okay? And what you do, you build the greens with slopes, but you have runoffs to these drains. That way, obviously the greens drain. But what that also creates for us is where the ball is going to break. Okay, so you can look at it. Or if we're standing here looking at this flag here, my first thing I'm going to look at, I'm looking for that drain over there just off the column. Okay, so I know now, looking at this, my ball is going to break towards that drain because the water is going to go towards that drain. Is that new school, old school? It's old school. And I don't care if you play on Donald Ross greens, modern greens, they're all built the same way. It's all about slope and drain. Okay, with that said, we got that. So now let's figure out, how do I know how much do I take and break on the putt? How much do I read out there? The best thing to do, especially as we get older, I've been playing golf over 46 years now, and that's hard to believe. And I've played a lot of tour golf throughout the country. I played California, Arizona, Utah, Georgia, Florida. Everybody in Utah, by the way, if you go out to Utah, don't try to hustle these dudes in Utah. They will take your money and then show you the gas station and get you out of town for the next sucker. Dudes in Utah are good. So shout out to Utah. All right, so let's go to this. What we're gonna do, you've seen these people on TV feeling the slopes with their feet. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. And then we're gonna go into what is the aim point. And I'm gonna explain that extremely simply for you and fast. All right, so what I want you to do is take your feet. If I'm going towards this hole over here, I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna feel the slope with my feet. Just like that. So I feel the slope. I feel that it's going to the right. Now, you want to ask yourself, well, how many spaces do I have to check to feel the slope in my feet? Okay? So if we're right here, say we're about 20 feet out, okay? I'm going to take 2 readings. And how I do it, okay, I go every 5 steps. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I take one there, I feel it. Okay? Then I'm going to go up here again, and I'm going to feel that again. Boom, that's how I feel it. And from that point, you'll see some pros, we all see them on TV, they do that, and a lot of them will use their fingers, okay? And some guys, one of my favorite players, Lydia Ko, she does it, but she'll use her putter, okay? She's got the numbers figured out in her head. So here's how you do it, very simply. You have slope grades. Don't get in all this math stuff because I'm awful with it as well. If I can do this, anybody can do it. You need to figure out in yourself what is 1% grade, slope, what is 2% grade and slope, and 3 and 4. Sounds complicated? No, it's not. Here we go. I'm going to show you what 1% would be. 1% does not have to be for everybody. We don't need to put a level on the ground and all that. Come on. Okay? You figure out what 1% is for yourself. Okay? So I'm gonna get over here and I'm gonna fill this. I'm sorry, you're gonna learn what half is as well, which is very simple. So I'm gonna fill this. Always put your hands to the side like this. That's about a half. Okay. That's about a half. I can come over here. We're gonna walk over here to this side of the green, and I'm gonna show you how we got a bigger slope on this green right over here. And again, by the way, this is Aberdeen Country Club, Boynton Beach, Florida. A great place. And everybody who's a member here, you know it is. They call it Camp Aberdeen because the membership here has a great time. Okay, so here's the slope right here, different slope. You're looking at about 1.5, okay? So now, again, you figure out what 1%, 2%, and all that percentage stuff is for you. And you're only gonna go up to 4. That's it, okay? So, I'm gonna show you something here. If it's 1%, 1 finger. 2%, 2 fingers. 3%, 3 fingers. 4%, 4 fingers. Now here we go. Here comes a trick. 0.5%, pinky. Not complicated. 1.5, not complicated. A thumb. Again, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, half, 1.5. All right, now let's go over here to the flag, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do this. And we're just gonna use this as an example. By the way, shout out to my good friend Brendan Ward. He's got a channel on YouTube. Please check his out. You're probably gonna know his name in the future, and you'll probably see me carrying his bag. All right. So, what you need to do, I'll get Brendan to come over right behind me. We're just gonna say this is 1%. I'm gonna take my finger, I'm gonna hold it up. I'm gonna put the flag, which is in the center of the hole. If the flag's not there, it goes to the center hole. I'm gonna put that flag on the left part of my finger, okay? So that's 1%. Now I want you to see where that little dot is. Look right out here, right part of my finger. Yes, I have shakes. And you'll see it, it's like right here. And again, I'm just using this as an example. So that was where it was at 1%. That's not what it actually is, but that's what we're just saying. That's where the outside of my finger was, right there. So what I would do at aim point, I would literally put my ball to that spot, okay? So, I got 3 balls in my pocket here. Let's see what we got. And again, if it was half, I would use a pinky. 1.5 would be a thumb, okay? You never go over 4. I mean, if you want to go to 5, say, oh, how do you do that? Here you go. There's your 4, just add another finger like that, okay? Now, you never go over 4, never divide anything. What you do, if you have a long putt, which I'll show you, you always go with the highest number. It's gonna seem odd, always go with the highest number. Never degrade down in any shape and form. So I come over here, and I'm sensing in my head, I'm gonna go with 1, okay? And I got 3 balls, I'm just rolling them here. I'm here to get to the point on stuff, and so you know. So I'm going with 1, I'm gonna put my finger up there. I know it's breaking to my right. I see the drain over there. Okay, the flag stick's going to the right. It's part of my finger. Okay, so I see my spot. My spot is about right here. It's about right there. It's my spot. Okay, from where I was. And of course, you're gonna have a ball back here, and I'm just gonna roll it. Okay, it's gonna show you. And again, we got a lot of wind blowing today. Actually, blowing my right to my left. So I'm just rolling it to that spot. Here it comes. I'm rolling it to that spot. There it goes again. The deal with this is if you miss that putt, your ball is still just going to be a tap in. There's the beauty of that aim point. Now, how the person figured this out, I don't know. I was taught by a good friend of mine. She was a hell of a golfer, by the way. You would never want to bet her money. She taught me this, and I was like, there's no way this can work. Guess what? It works, and it's crazy. Okay, so here, you're gonna say, well, what if I have a long putt? Okay, let's go all the way back. We'll go back to the front. And remember what I said before. Right now, we're probably looking at a 30, 40 foot putt, right? So like I told you before, every 5 steps I'm taking a measurement. So I'll have my ball here, I'll have it marked, okay? I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll take a reading there, okay? I got my reading. We'll say that's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1. Since I got a 2 back here, I have my ball marked, I would go with 2. No matter what your brain tells you, you go with 2. And here's a good example of why. Up in Utah, okay, and this was a long time ago, it blew my mind. I would get there and I would see this thing's breaking right to left, no doubt about it, it's breaking right to left. I hit the putt, the thing just shot off to the right. Why? Everything breaks towards the lake. I'm from Florida, and what I didn't realize, which makes no sense, I know, these courses are built on basically mountain slopes. So what I'm seeing in my eyes like that is actually like that. We're on a mountain slope. Same thing everywhere, okay? Now, again, that's making it simple. What you need to do is learn what 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% is for you. This is something you practice. It's not hard to do. I promise you, you can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it, okay? And trying to think if there's anything else reading greens. Of course, you got different types of turf, okay? Down here south, we have Bermuda, okay? You read the grain. We all know this grain, silver, is going away from you faster. If it's darker, slower, because the grain's growing at you, a little harder, okay? This course is actually Paspalum turf. Shout out to he's no longer with us, Norm Pilot. I worked with him at Frenchman's Creek. He had something to do with developing this turf. Greatest guy I ever worked for. So this Paspalum it's a very pretty grass. It's a great grass, but on greens, it's tricky. It's almost like there's a gluey substance on this stuff. You have to be able to putt on Paspalum a few times to get it figured out. And by the way, another hint, if you play on a Paspalum course, if you're hitting a pitch shot, chip shot, do not land the ball in the collar. You got to land it on the green and roll it up there. Because you land it in the collar, it's going to die. That's a good information for everybody up north. Because most of us down in South Florida here, we all know, okay? And again, this is South Florida. We live in Palm Beach County, okay? All right, so we got how to look for drains, first step. We got pouring the water, seeing how the water is going to drain off, second step, perfect. And we got how to look for our slope, going towards the drains, third step. And then fourth, finally, I showed you how to do aim point. And if you need to watch it over, which I did, watch it over a few times, aim point. And once you see it, like, oh my God, boom, it's easy. It is so easy, and trust me, the only thing you're gonna have a problem with, as you will see, as I get older, I figured out, we all get shakes as we get older, okay? So when you hold your fingers up to, 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 4 finger, half or 1.5, if you got like a little shake, here it comes, baby. Count that first shake. Don't count the third shake because you got the 4 shakes. Count that first shake, okay? I'm gonna show you again. Here's half. Here's 1.5. Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Okay? And the best golf advice I ever got, I was a young kid, older gentleman, was in his 70s. Okay? He came up to me and said, when you play baseball or softball, when you hit the baseball or softball, do you think about where's your elbow, where's this, how am I swinging that, where's my hip? No, you're reacting to the ball. This is a sport like any other sport, okay? Don't think so much, okay? See your spot, react to the spot. See the ball, react to the ball. Boom, boom, boom. That's what it's all about. You're here to have fun. You're here to hit great shots and have a great time, okay? Be easy on yourself and easy on everybody else. And again, this is Britt Burton, the hippie golfer. Brendan Ward, my future boss. I'll be on the bag one day. And again, have a great time. And I'm gonna make several videos here. Probably every couple of weeks I'll put some videos out on different tricks of the game. And there are a lot of tricks that these old timers taught me that are not being taught no more. I don't even spill all the beans to Brendan here, but I'm gonna spill the beans now. Thanks again. Great time. And always take care of yourself.